Hello everyone and welcome to another traditional draft of Brothers War. This time the first pick is, I think it's pretty easy. It's gonna be the Horned Stone Seeker. It is very efficient to drop, even though that the Power Stone token is just a temporary one. You would always play a 2-mana 2/2 with Menace. That's a really good um, creature. I mean, for 2 mana you get a 2/2 which has a sort of an evasive ability. It's really good, and of course sometimes when this doesn't get removed immediately, you can get some value out of the Power Stone too. So it's really good. Other good cards in the pack are the Scrapwork Mutt. I think it would be the second pick. So if this uncommon was just something bad, I would take the Mutt, and then maybe the weak Stone Subjugation. And there's some role players like Emergency Weld, Chromatic Star, but yeah, I'm very happy with this thing because this is one of the set's better uncommons. Alright, this pack is still quite good, of course. At the second pick, you want the pack to be good. So someone took the rare here and left Bushwhack, Hero of the Dunes, which are both reasonable uncommons, and then there's Overwhelming Remorse, which is going to be the best common out of the pack. Now, if the first pick was black or a strong black or white card, I might actually take the Hero of the Dunes in that case. But since it is red, and while this is a splashable card, it's gonna be a little bit awkward maybe to splash it. I can just take the Overwhelming Remorse, which kind of allows me to maybe go to red-black, and still, even if it's gonna be something else, this is a very strong card. So I'm happy to have it in the deck. It's also splashable. Alright, so another strong pack from which the rare has been taken, and one one uncommon has been taken because of course this is the retro artifact, so a regular Brothers War uncommon has been taken in addition to the rare. That still left a lot of good options. The Fallacy Vanguard is a good card, Opportunist is a good card, the Prison Sentence is a good card. This figure is, I think, above average for sure. Argodin Sprite and the Warblow are totally reasonable playable. So this pack has a lot of, at least playable. Let's say the kind of cards that I'm happy to put in my deck. There's plenty of those in this pack. But what is the strongest card, considering I have a red and black card here? Because the best card in the pack is the Vanguard. I think it's better than the removal. But I could I'll take the disfigure. I'm not taking the green cards here because they don't suit with my first picks. It's between the Vanguard and the disfigure. I think I like the disfigure here still. It's gonna be pretty decent. I have a full playset of this reservoir, so I don't need to red draft that thing. I see another opportunist here, which might be a signal. I mean, I just passed an opportunist, but and the 2-drop sprite also. But considering the red and black options from this pack, it's going to be something mediocre. Now these are all actually playable. The Rock Hunter is a 2-drop which you always need. Conscripted Infantry can be good if you have some sacrifice narratives. This creates two things to sacrifice, or usually you maybe trade the first creature and then you sacrifice the 1/1 token. Blue Totem, and it's always okay. Gigamol is okay if you have room for 4-drops in the deck. Usually you cut this because you have better 4-drops to run. But the Opportunist is the best card in the pack, so I think I'm gonna take it because if green is gonna be open, I'm very sad about not picking the Opportunist here. And then we get this pack, which doesn't have much green. I mean, the red is actually quite bad. I think this is very hard to make work because the beast and bird creatures in the set, they are not even that good, so you don't want to run those bad cards just to make, I mean, of course, if you can copy them when you cast them, that would be excellent. But when you don't draw this thing, but you draw the beast and the bird, they are not gonna be good. It's the 5-mana 3/3 flash creature, the blue flyer, and then the green 3-mana 4/2 that are beasts and birds. There might be some others, but those are at least the commons. Okay, actually the Coilless Rock is in here, the bird one. Alright, but yeah, the Gaia's Gift versus Cliff Stumper. Unleash Shell. I don't actually know. I should take something. I don't know. I take actually the Combat Courier. I think that was the best card in the pack, and it's playable sometimes in decks that don't even have access to blue, or maybe just has a very tiny access to blue. But yeah, I guess I talked too much about the pack contents without considering what I should actually pick there. Um, I don't think the pack was that great, so I'm not sad about picking the courier. This was still this is a good card to run in many kind of decks. Here it might be the Lantern or the, oh no, it's actually gonna be the Emergency Weld. That's yeah, that's an easy pick. I have a disfigure and the remorse. I kind of want to be black here, given those two cards. So I'm gonna take these, which is gonna always gonna be a decent card to run. Okay, there's a Goblin Blast Runner. Actually, nice combination with the Combat Courier because this can enable this enhanced version of it. There's a Rock Hunter, which I mean, in decks that don't have sacrifice energies, I would of course rather run the Rock Hunter. And my cards so far don't really support the sacrifice stuff, but this is just a rather mediocre 2-drop. And this can be very good in the kind of deck where it, you have the synergy for it. It's pack 1. I can still find a bunch of synergy for this. And this pack otherwise is quite weak, so it's going to be one of these 2 red cards. I'm going to take the Blast Runner because it has potential to be quite good. And this is, by the way, the beast for the blue-green rare. So it's not a card you usually want to run in your deck. So so it's quite kind of annoying that the bird beast payoff rare is, the payoff. The enablers are so bad. All right, so talisman is always pretty okay. I could take the rivalry if I'm gonna be red-black with some sacrifice synergies. I don't have anything to sacrifice stuff with, but if I get some, this will be good. So yeah, you could take the talisman. It goes to any deck, I think, but I'll take the rivalry for now. Okay, I got back the emergency world, and interestingly also the Avenger, because I think this was, the pack had a lot of good playables, but this wasn't like, I think this was in the top 8 cards in the pack, and it's also colorless. So no one took it. But I'm not taking it either because I'm taking probably the weld here. I could also take the Juggernaut, but it's a 5-drop. I'll maybe find some other 5-drops. I'd rather take the weld here. It's actually quite good. I'm a bit surprised it came back and another weld. What the heck? I'm taking it, and now I'm gonna actually take the self-mill cycle of creatures that fit my colors, because when you have triple weld, you want to mill yourself quite a bit. All right, so I think I'm gonna be black and maybe red. Don't have that much red actually going on. Let's see. These cards are pretty bad. I don't know. This is a best of 3 draft, so I should consider sideboarding. Maybe there is a scenario where I take the onslaught, but also it's possible I'm still playing green, and the Rust Goliath is sometimes something you want to run. Okay, I'm gonna take the Gigamole here because it's quite good with the weld. Just getting the build stuff. There's actually these red 2-drop and 3-drops which are not amazing, but playable still in the pack. But I'm gonna take the Gigamole because of the triple weld here, and here is just nonsense. I won't be playing any of these cards. I won't be sideboarding any of those cards. I have picked the Drake for sideboard pebbles, but I don't really. I think it's just so bad that I don't even want to sideboard it in. Okay, this is a first pick very easy here because let's see the other cards first. So I try to be red black, but I can be black anything. The best cards in the pack are black, and I don't have. The best red card is the Stone Seeker with first pick in the draft, but it's not really. I can abandon red because the Blast Runner doesn't look like a good card quite yet, and the rivalry also doesn't have the synergy it requires. So I actually have only one good red card, one good green card. This Rust Goliath isn't usually that good, so I could be, black and even black and white. But yeah, this pack, I guess I could be interested in the Gigamole. I might be interested in the Opportunist, but this thing is, if you don't have access to white, you can still play this as a 6-drop in any deck, and it's just an amazing 6-drop. It's only a bonus if you can cast a 3-mana version of it. It's just a bomb rare, which you will always take, no matter what. Alright, so this pack is really good. Thopter Mechanic, very strong. Cinnamon, very strong. The Research Desk, very strong. Wellspring can be good in the kind of decks that can synergize with it, and it's not hard to synergize with the card. There's a Scrapbook Cohort, which I believe is the best common in the pack. And you can also play this card in some decks that don't even have access to white. And then there's the Evolving Wilds, which is always a card you're happy to pick from packs that don't have, anything, if in a pack that has just mediocre cards, you're happy to take the Evolving Wilds, even if you are just a 2-color deck. Now, the question is, am I going to take the Research Desk or the Cinder here? I have no other 3-drops than the Opportunist, and of course, if I will be Black-Red, I won't have any 3-drops for now. The Research Desk is so good, also synergizes with the Blast Runner, but this is just such a nice stat line. I think I'm gonna take the Cinder, but if you prefer the Research Desk in this pack, I totally accept that. I think you could have taken either of those cards and be happy about it. I just like the very efficient stat line here, and the fact that I actually don't have 3-drops, because if I am Black-Red, I won't be running the Opportunist here, so I should maybe cut that one and this one, and this seems to be the deck so far. Combat Courier I'm not sure of. Well, there are a bunch of cards I'm not sure about running yet, but let's see what I'm getting here. I think I can still take another Disfigure. The Wobble I like the Forge Chanter, the decent 2-drops, but this is still an early gameplay and also decent later in the game. So I'm just gonna take the Disfigure for now, and I'm very sure I'm going to be black for sure, at least black in this deck, and quite likely also red. I'm not sure about the Sibling Rivalry, Combat Courier, and the Blast Runner quite yet, but I might be running those. I might not run those. We'll see. Alright, so the Mechanized Warfare doesn't work with my black creatures that aren't artifacts, but then again there's only one of those. The Emergency World will create a artifact creature which works with this Mechanized Warfare. I could also take just a Scrapwork Rager. I think the pick is between the Rager and the Mechanized Warfare here. I might still find some other black cards I want to run, and the more black cards you have with this thing, the worse this becomes, because you really want this to apply to most of your creatures, if not all. So I'm gonna just take the Rager here, and there's an Overwhelming Remorse, so I'm gonna just take that. Snap Peek, it's a really good removal spell, and yeah, there's also the Blast Runner, but I might actually ignore about the sacrifice stuff, because as you can see, there's nothing to well, there's maybe not nothing, but there's a very few things in this deck that actually cares about sacrificing, so I might just, cut the Blast Runner, cut the Sibling Rivalry, and just have a basic, red-black deck. Although there are still only 2 red cards I'm interested in running, the Stone Seeker and the Cinder, but they're both very good. But regardless of anything, I'm just taking the Remorse here, and I guess it's possible I'm gonna ignore the red. But if I'm not giving any better options, I will play the red color because of these 2 very good uncommons I've already picked here. Now, Disciples of Gigs, not interested. I guess the card to play here is the Knowing Vermin. I don't think it's that good, but it does mill me for 2 cards, which is actually quite good with triple. Because of course I can mill the opponent, but in this set you don't want to mill your opponent. There's too many Unearth and other synergies for Graveyard going on. So I'm gonna mill myself, and it's gonna be good for the Emergency World. And the 1/1 for 1 that gives -1/-1 upon death is not that bad. Alright, so this this will mill me for 3, but problem is I don't have any artifacts really in this deck, so it's just gonna be a 3-mana 3/2 that mills me for 3, which is good for the welds, but is it gonna good enough to run actually in a deck? I think I'll just take the 2-drop because I'm actually lacking in that department. Let's take the 3/1, even though it's not that exciting. Unleash Shell versus pretty much nothing. I know I have these remorses, couple of these figures. I have a bunch of removal, but still, I mean, Trench Stalker is good if you can make it work quite often, but I don't have that many ways to activate the sort of, it's not an activated ability, but the make this enhanced version of it happen. I just take the Unleash Shell. I can still take one of those even though I have a double Remorse in the deck. These can also be, I mean, ideally they are cheaper than 5 mana when I cast them. Alright, Gigamol here, easy pick over the Automaton because of the triple weld here. And here I have a Conscripted Infantry, which I might take. Yeah, this is not a Trench Stalker deck. I can just take the Infantry, I think. Tow Worker is not that amazing. I mean, I don't really care about ramping that much. I'll take the Infantry, it's fine. And I get, oh, Woblo. I mean, I was already picking the Forge Chandra, but I think the Warblow is just nicer because it also has the 6 mana option to be a significant threat. And here another combat courier, but I don't really. I think I'm not going to run the Blast Runner, so if without access to blue, I don't think this card is worth running. I'll just take the Onslaught because it's something I might sideboard in or something like that. Okay. Yep. Oh well, this is actually, basically a playable card which I could put to the deck for now. It is gonna be among the first cards though. Alright, so I'm actually going to cut now just the Blast Runner and the Rivalry here. I think all the rest of the cards, this is actually 2-drop also. The rest of the cards I'm going to be happy to, oh no, not the Courier. And well, to be fair, I don't really want to play the Intervention, so I'm gonna cut that too. Now these 18 cards are cards I'm happy to run, so let's see if I can improve my deck. First I need 5 cards to make it 23, and then I'm gonna decide if I have some better cards to make some further cuts here. Okay, the Statue is good, Demon is good, Juggernaut is good. I think I want to have the 2 mana drop here. The Altar is maybe not such a great card in this deck, but it can be very good in some others. But I still want the 2-drops here. Because this 1, 2, 3, 4 2-drops for now. I think I should still take one because this pack isn't that strong. I mean, the decision is between like a Thrax Demon and another infantry, and I do like the demon more. So let's just take the demon. I think I start to have a fairly decent amount of 2-drops, so I don't have to like prioritize them in any way. I will take the Fraxer here. With a triple belt, I actually have good synergy for the Fraxer. First of all, if I sack something that's actually relevant, I can bring it back with the weld, and then this weld also creates me a 1/1 sacrifice fodder, which I can sack for the Fraxer. And the other options in the pack is the packs are there's not that great options. I would take the Juggernaut after the Fraxer, but it's not as good as the removal here. Alright, this is a weak pack. I don't think I care about. Yeah, I don't have enough Power Stone token generation to play a 7 mana 6/5 that gains me 6. Do I have anything that creates a Power Stone other than, well, I do have the Stone Seeker, but it's a temporary Power Stone, so yeah, I don't really want to be running 7-drops in this deck. I'll just take something else. So, Mistra is not good. Supply drop, I don't know if I want to have it here. I actually think I'll just take 20 gems here. I think this pack was just totally, unplayable for me. I don't even sideboard in any of those cards. So I'll took the of course the limited unplayable rare, but it's 20 gems, so I'll took that. Alright, so Juggernaut, Infantry, Demon, Avenger, Bitter Reunion. Yeah, this pack has playables, but what is the actual pick here? Maybe I can take another Juggernaut. Demon, a third copy, maybe not. I could take the Avenger too. I would be happier about it if I had access to some Power Stone generating it. So I'll actually take the 5-drop instead. It's fine. Okay, another knowing worm in here. And there's a Scrapsmith, which is good with a triple weld, but it's just gonna be a 3 mana 3/2 so often, and I don't really like that stat line. I'd rather have actually the conscripted infantry, but the actual question here is, should I just take the worm in here? I think with triple emergency weld, I prefer the the mill 2 for myself, so I'm gonna take it. It also trades with opposing 2-drops quite often. And here, Pyrrhic Blast, Acrobat. It's between those two. So, yeah, I have already one Onslaught in the sideboard. I don't think I'm gonna run that card in the main deck, and I don't need the sideboard in, so I might just take the Blast here. I don't have that many good targets for it. Should I take the Killzone Acrobat? I don't really. Okay, actually I'll take the 3-drop because I have so few 3-drops. I might just want to have it in the deck because of the curve out potential, and sometimes you just can sacrifice something to make this deal 3 in the air. I also want to have a healthy creature count for the for the emergency welds. Here I'm gonna take maybe the Forge Center. Yeah, I'll take the Forge Center. And yeah, altar. It's not gonna be that good. I can sacrifice some of my kind of fodder here to make 3/3s, but I mean, I don't have much or something. Yeah, I have too few unearthed creatures to make this that good. I'm gonna pick it still because I'm not getting. I'm not interested in the rest of the cards in the pack, so I can take the altar. But yeah, here I'm taking the Demolisher mostly for sideboard purposes against some grindy matchups where I know I can get to 7 mana. I might want to sideboard this guy in. It should be in the sideboard though, so let's put it there. Here there's Iron Wings and still a Mizra's Juggernaut. Not sure if this is a Wings deck. It's actually more like a Juggernaut deck, so let's take another one of those. Still got the Mizra here. I guess I can play this in some situation, or sideboard in rather. Okay, let's take the uncommon, and uncommon. Okay. Okay, so this deck is a bit weird because usually when I have drafted red black, it has been either having some sacrifice energies or a power stone token ramp into some artifacts and stuff like Thrax Demon sacrificing power stones. Well, I have neither of those. I don't have a sacrifice energies too much. I mean, I have a Thrax Demon, but one blast runner. I guess I could have picked another one in the draft, but there was something else in the pack. So what this deck is trying to do, well, it has some, well, I guess the emergency world is a defining factor of the deck. It's quite decent when you can bring some specific creatures back from your graveyard. And the self-mill cards I have double Giga Mole, double Vermin, and I also have, the double Juggernaut and the Scrapbook Rager I can, mill for some value because they have Unearth. 18 creatures for now. I'm gonna cut a few of them. Yeah, of course you can't ignore the fact that the deck has double Disfigure, the Remorse. Maybe I play the Unleash Shell, and there's also the Power Stone Fracture, so a decent amount of removal, which it's something you can expect from a Black-Red deck. But anyway, these are pretty decent removal spells, and also the self-mill stuff does actually slightly synergize with the Remorse, which wants you to have some creatures in your graveyard to make it a cheaper cast. The first cut will be the Mistra Excavation Prodigy. 3 mana 2/1 haste is just not good enough, and the ability is actually not that amazing. So let's cut that one. Amount of 2-drops here. 2-drop creatures, let's say. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but also double Vermin, double Disfigure. So I have early plays available. I think I can cut here something. Will it be the 1/3 or the 3/1? I mean, I can actually switch between them when sideboarding because I don't think I want to main deck both of them. I should cut some of these early drops because I don't need all of them. So I maybe prefer starting with Rock Hunter. It's the more aggressive one, and then if the opponent has like a lot of some kind of ways to easily trade with the 3/1, maybe I can change into the Forge Chanter. The reason I don't want to maybe start with a Forge Chanter is that I don't have that many non-creatures. I have 9 now, and I might even cut some more, so I'm gonna cut the Chanter here. Then there's a question of how many cards to run. Oh, by the way, I should actually put this here. This is also a 2-drop, so that's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2-drop creatures, 2 1-drop creatures, and a couple of these figures that I can play early in the game. So yeah, this is still enough creatures. I think I might even be able to cut the Rock Hunter here, but let's see. What I was saying a moment ago is this a 16 or 17 land deck? I have 2 5-drops which are artifacts, but I have no ways to make power stones other than the temporary power stone from the Stone Seekers. So that's a couple of 5-drops and 1 6-drop. I won't be able to have the double white for the 3-drop prototype version. So and the Unleash Shell is always going to be a 5 mana spell. I think I might actually cut the Unleash Shell here. Because I have a bunch of removal here already, and this is not so great when I already have 2 creatures here, which I actually prefer running over the shell here. I can sideboard it in if I need more removal or more the kind of removal that deals with big creatures. So this can be a sideboarded still in. And now I have to decide if this is going to be 16 or 17 lands, because I need to make one more cut if it's 17, and I think the cut would be the kill zone acrobat. It actually doesn't synergize that much, but what it does actually have some benefit with the gnawing vermin. I might want to sacrifice it so that I can kill something or give some opponent creatures -1/-1 even if it doesn't kill it. So and but that's like a minor thing. But the actually main thing that speaks for running this card is that I don't have a lot of 3-drops, and you always want to have the potential to curve out, 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. That's the ideal curve in basically all limited decks. Maybe some decks would prefer some very aggressive decks might want to have a 2-drop, 3-drop, and then double 2-drop on turn 4. That's also good. But if I cut the acrobat, it kind of uh, uh, decrease my chances for perfect curve outs. So I want to play it as such. Now 3 mana 3/2 normally isn't of course good, but a 3 power flyer for 3 mana is no joke. You don't have to make this fly every turn. If you are able to have some reasonable sacrifice for the twice in the game, so that you can deal 6 extra damage in the air, that's almost a third of the opponent's life total, so it's no joke to get some random flying damage in. So I think I will run it, and I might actually start with the 16 land plan here. I'm not too happy about it because I don't have early cantrips. I have some card draw, but they are very expensive. So if I had some cantrips like the Mr. Research Desk, I think I took the Giant Cinder over it. Yeah, see, running 16 lands is more. Yeah, it's easier to do when you have the cheap cantrips, 1 or 2 mana cantrips, but I don't have those. But yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I guess if I wanted to run 17 lands, I would cut either the Rock Hunter or the Acrobat. If I cut the Rock Hunter, that's still 1, 2, 3, 4 creatures I can play on turn 2, and then these creatures I can play on turn 1, and a couple of these figures. I don't also have a lot of red spells. Actually, as you can see, there's only 4 red spells, but if I cut the red, I don't think I have as good of a deck. This Unearth is also red, so and of course the main idea, the main reason to run the red is the Stone Seeker and the Cinder, which are very good uncommons. Yeah, I could be mono black if I really forced. I cut all the red stuff, or I don't have to cut all the red stuff. I can still play the Mistras Juggernaut and have like 12 swamps or 11 swamps and the rest mountains to enable the Unearth here. But if I cut the red as a main color, then I can't play the Stone Seeker or the Cinder, which are just too good to ignore. And I also don't have really anything at 3 mana that can cast with, I mean, there's no black 3-drops or artifact 3-drops here that are creatures, so I don't want to really cut the red here. Actually, I'm going to start with the 16 lands here. I think it should be 9 swamps and 7 mountains though, because I have so few red cards, which means I don't necessarily always have mana for the 2-drops here, but I mean, I can't really play 8 and 8 here when I have 15 black cards and have 4 are red here, so also this being a black 2-drop, which makes it 16 actually. Well, yep, okay, this is the main deck build, I believe, so let's have 9 of these Phyrexian swamps and 7 mountains, like this. Alright. Alright, I can have a decent curve out here. Hopefully I don't get too flooded here, but 4-landers are still good in limited. Usually you want to have either a 3 or 4-lander. Maybe some decks might prefer 2-landers over 4-landers, but this deck I think has enough expensive cards that the 4-lander is slightly preferred over a 2-lander. Okay. Can my opponent play a land here? I don't think they kept a 0-lander, so... Okay. That's not a bad one, because I can now have a turn 2 Stoneseeker if it survives turn 3 Scrapwork Rager. Drawing me extra card and all that. Counterspell? No. No spell in the first main phase. No, okay. So I should just, before attacking, I don't think there's anything happening to this thing, but just in case, I can just play my Scrapwork Rager right now. Because if this leaves the battlefield, I have to sack the Power Stone. Okay. So nothing. Oh, they're not playing anything. Sure. Sure, okay. Maybe okay, I made a slight mistake on the previous turn. I had 3 planes in my hand. Oh, well, I mean, I guess 2, because 1 was on the battlefield already, but I should have played the planes, sorry, a swamp instead. And why did I say planes? You know, swamps. Because now... Yeah, I could actually triple spell this turn, but that's because I drew the vermin. Anyhow, point is that I can only play the Thraxodemon and the vermin. But if I played the swamp on the previous turn, I could have played both vermins, but I don't think I'm in such a big, you know... I mean, not in any trouble here really, because I can draw a card with this thing. This thing I have 2 remorses, so if they play 1 big creature, I just exile it and I'm almost winning. This is actually 7 damage. I do have a 2-turn clock right now. So, retrieval unit, alright. I mean, it's not something I usually would want to use a remorse on, but given that I have an actual 2-turn clock here and I still have a remorse left in my hand, I definitely should do this. Because now if they play 1 big creature, I just win the game. And even if they do something else, you know, like remove 1 of my guys, I'm still the favorite to win the game here, given the board state and life totals. Okay, game is over now. That's exactly 7 I can deal. The power of removal. Also, the power of opponent not doing anything until turn. Was that 4 or something? Because they skipped 1 turn when they were at 3 lands. Yeah, I mean, they just didn't play anything. Alright, so what do I learn about their deck? It is a well, green and blue, but the cards I saw were colorless, so green, blue and white doesn't actually tell me much here. So, I mean, am I supposed to sideboard in an Unleashed Shell? Maybe the vermin isn't that good. I like the self-mill here because of the triple world though, but... I mean, I guess I could see, based on the cards I saw, that the Unleashed Shell might be valuable. Okay, I'm gonna cut 1 vermin. And I'm gonna play the Unleashed Shell here. I don't think I'm gonna play the Demolisher, but this will be the deck now. Okay, actually when I curve out I have 1, 2, 3 this time. So this is really good. They kept 7. And of course I will mill myself. There goes land and then world. Well, no creatures. So not really that beneficial mill, but oh well. I think I will play the 3 power creature, the Rock Hunter, rather than the Thrax Demon, because I can, for example, disfigure something. Although if I disfigure, I can't. Okay. Yeah, if I disfigure something, I can't play the Thrax Demon. If I played now a Thrax Demon, I could use my next turn to disfigure and still play my Rock Hunter. I didn't consider that, but I guess then playing a Prison Sentence there is really no big deal. First of all, I can just play my Cinder there, and then if I play the Thrax Demon so that it survives and I can untap with it, then I can draw a card from the Rock Hunter by sacrificing it with the Thrax Demon. So let's see if they have something. Okay, just a 2/3, which means I can. Well, with the Rager, actually, I'm just going to. Because I know I could attack into this thing, disfigure it, and then kill it. But I just rather play the Rager, maybe. Although it can't really attack into the retrieval unit either. And if I do the disfigure blade this turn, I can still play the infantry. Or the Thrax Demon, I suppose. But I guess I'll play the 3-drop. Is that worth it? I mean, disfigure on the retrieval unit, maybe it is, because a disfigure doesn't always have good targets. So this is fine, I guess. I could have also just... Okay, they didn't block. I was thinking that I could just not attack with the Vermin, attack with the Syndemo, and not play the Rager, just play the 3-1 here. Which I'm actually doing now, because the 2-2 doesn't do much against the 2-3. This can at least, you know, attack into it. Oh, that's a reason to not block with this thing, because this gives them +2/+2 here. Alright, so how do I do it now? I don't have a removal on the Ursa right now. Okay, with double disfigure I actually do. So if I attack with everything, what happens? If they block the worming, they blocked worming. I guess I don't mind. So let's attack with everything, because I will double disfigure the Ursa, even if it's just a 1-for-2ing myself. But now it's actually better. Okay, so now I have actually two options here. I can. Well, first of all, what I'm gonna always do here is this, kill the Ursa. Now this will be, when the Ursa dies, this will be just a 2-3, so it will die. But now the question is, do I want to save my Cinder by casting the disfigure here on the retrieval unit? I would also trample 1 damage over. So would I rather play the Thrax Demon post-combat or have the Syndemo alive? I think I do prefer the Syndemo being alive. I'm not sure how good the Disfigure is, although against blue and white cards, for which they have mana to cast, currently Disfigure is quite okay. I could let this go though. I really could. Next turn it's gonna be the Rager, so even if I play the Thrax Demon, I'm not going to activate it for the Rock Hunter sacrifice. I actually think I want to save my Syndemo. Let's do it like this. This means I have now, 8 power of attackers, they have no blockers. But I lost my final piece of interaction, so if they play like a big creature right now, that might be a problem. Well, they did not. I guess they were running 3 colors, so maybe they just didn't have anything to cast there. Well, that was an easy match 1. But, I mean, my draws were very good. Even if the opponent was able to put up a better fight, I think I was in a good shape with the cards I had drawn in both of these games. But of course, what I saw, I mean, in this game, the opponent played their first card at 4 mana. And even, of course, the Ursa is really good. This particular Ursa is really good when you have other artifact creatures. It's not really enough to just turn the tide if you don't play other spells, really. So yeah, easy matchup. Oh man. If one of these was a swamp, this would be a great hand. I don't even have a Mishra's Juggernaut here to benefit from the Power Stone token. I have 9 swamps in the deck though. Okay, I'm gonna keep it because I do have the 2-mana 2/2 menace. Even if I don't benefit from the Power Stone, it's a good creature, unblockable for the first couple of turns usually. And then if I do draw one of the 9 swamps, which, you know, the chances for that are not that high necessarily. It might take 5 turns. And of course, the most cards I have, you know, the non-land cards, they are black. Well, there are some artifact cards too. Yeah, this can be really bad. But let's see, the opponent did actually mulligan to 6, so maybe that helps me a little bit. But I might just draw like 3 black cards back to back, and then that will be miserable, and they have a very strong... Okay, well that is a very good thing, because what I can do now... Well, first of all, I attack. Now I could just kill it, but there's a chance they don't have, you know, an artifact. And I can always kill it, even if it's like a big creature, I can kill it with the Power Stone Fracture. But the point is, what I can do now is play the Thraxer Demon, and if it survives, I can play the Worming on the next turn and then sacrifice it right away to give this one -1/-1. Now, let's see if they have an artifact. And if they do they give it a +1/+1 on this thing? Of course, if they have a non-creature artifact, they have to give it to this one. But if they have an artifact creature, they might pump the creature itself. Of course, I just hope they don't have anything yet. Okay, that is totally fine. I lose my token, but I still have mana to play the Vermin and sack it. So please don't have anything for this. I will of course mill myself here because of all the reasons I have talked about earlier. And then I will sack this thing, draw a card, give this a -1/-1, and don't have Lora's Escape. They didn't. Okay, World can bring the Stone Seeker back, but of course I will play the Gigamole first to see if there's... Because I have, for example, the Bumrare, the artifact creature there. Oh, more of those. Well, I mean, I do have a Juggernaut here, which I can cast rather than the Gigamole, and this giving some counters. If it gives 1 counter a turn, let's hope they don't have a Scrapwork Cohort here now. That would be very good for them, because it's a good blocker on this thing and they get 2 counters. Opportunist, that is still 1 counter on this thing. So, how do I do it? Okay, they actually make these into 2/2, but well, because they are gonna block the Juggernaut regardless. So, I guess I'm just gonna post-combat Gigamole here. Yeah, that's fine, I'll attack both, because I don't mind any kind of trades they can make here. And I'll play the Gigamole. No reason to... I mean, I don't have any castables, even if I leave a swamp or a mountain up. Okay, so I will take the Cinnamon here. I lost sadly a Disfigure. It would have been really good against the Dissident. But I might fracture it at some point. I don't have that amazing fodder for it yet, but I might. I mean, I will once I use the Emergency Weld. I could return still the Stone Seeker or the Juggernaut. Well, I guess also the Worming, but that's not what I'm gonna return here. But they might also play something else much bigger than the Dissident that I need to deal with. Okay, well, that thing I need to deal with. They're gonna pump the Dissident. Oh, they actually... Why are they pumping the Assembler, which is the big threat here anyway? Very interesting. Well, anyhow. I think I'm gonna return the Stone Seeker because that allows me to cast a lot of spells this turn. So, starting with Stone Seeker. I can still, you know, unearth the Juggernaut. And then I can use the Fracture here on this thing. Sacking this 1/1 here. I'm very surprised they didn't give a counter to Dissident because now they can't even block the Thrax Demon. I mean, they can, but they will lose the Dissident, and I would be happy if that happened. I can play my menace guy, and I still have the Juggernaut here, which is 5 power trample from Unearth, and they are at 7. So, and I have no. Look at this board here. Burnished Heart is gonna give them a counter, but let's see if they have more artifacts here. I mean, double Dissident is really good. More. Okay, that's an epic confrontation then. Okay, well that's not an artifact at least. So. What are their forced blocks if I just unearth right now? And attack with everything that is. No, they can just take the 5 here. But then they can't. They must block both of these, which means they would lose the Dissident and I would lose both of these creatures. They would go to 2. Alright, not necessarily what I'd like to see. Now they would lose the Dissident that way. If I unearth this, they must lose the Dissident, but I will have no board after that. They will be at 2 with the Burnished Heart on the battlefield. I also have the 7 mana now to cast both of these things, but that means I don't have an attack at all here. Maybe it's better to get rid of the Dissident and then regrow my stuff with these things. I don't like it, because they can block the 2-3 with the Burnished Heart, trade with the Dissident. Because if this is alive, they might just get more counters. I don't know what the cards in their hands are. If I knew they are not artifacts, I would be much happier about just playing these 2 threats and the next turn do the all-out attack. Yeah, that's really tough actually. Okay, I'm gonna still go for it. I don't like it, but I don't really like this team giving them any more counters. So now they are forced to block with it. Oh, they actually... What? Can you tell me what just happened? Why did they block the 5-3? No, the difference in these situations is that they are now at 3, but I have a Gigamole. They could have been at 2, and I have no board, and they have a 3-3 on the battlefield. They traded 1 life point. Okay, they just made a mistake. That's the only explanation. Alright, so let's do it like this. I of course can't attack into that, but oh, man, I'm happy. I could take the Traxor Demon. I'm gonna play the Cinder this turn no matter what. This will draw me extra card. Now I can unearth it, but the Traxor Demon can also draw me a lot of more cards. I might actually care about that a little bit more. So I'm gonna take the Traxor Demon and I'm gonna play this thing. And now they have to leave 3 mana up to be able to block the Cindermore. I don't mind if they trade with the Cindermore, but they don't have that much mana. They do have a Power Stone, but I mean, if they play anything that costs like a... Oh, are they gonna have this kind of stuff? Do they have also the 2-drop here? That will be very dangerous if they do have it. Okay, they don't have mana to pump the worker now. They might have, of course, a spell to deal with it. I think I will prefer unearthing this so that I can sack with the Traxor Demon, which means... Okay, so let's assume if they have no tricks and I attack with all. They can't block both the Gigamoles and take 4, they would lose. But if they have a trick, it's gonna be awkward. Now, if they don't have a trick and they trade with the Gigs in the mall, well, I'm happy if they trade. Let's see if they have a stop. Okay, they have a priority here now, so I think I'm gonna play it safe. Now that could be like a Gaia's Gift. Do I want to? Nah, I'm just gonna attack with this thing and see what they do. They might have a Gaia's Gift there. Or you know, they are Giant Growth, whatever. They had a giant Gaia's Gift. So if I now attack with everything, they would have probably done the same thing. Yeah, and they would be at 1 now, so that would be a lot better for me, of course. I still would have lost my Cinder, so maybe I should have... Yeah, because if they block the Cinnamon with this Tower Worker and we play Gaia Skiff, they can't kill the Cinnamon. I guess if they had like a giant growth, then they can block the Cinnamon with the Tower Worker, and then I lose the Tower Worker because of the giant growth, and I also lose one of my big Gigamals. Maybe it wasn't that bad. I mean, of a decision. The opponent is still at 3 and have an unearthed creature here. They need more blockers because I actually have a lethal attack now, but they have one card in their hand. I know, and also I know it's not a land because they were stuck at 4 for so long. Let's just do this to draw the card first and see what happens. Weld. Do I have a hasters in here? Guess I don't. So. I mean, I have an onboard victory here. Also, I can just sacrifice the Rager. Draw more cards. But, I mean, I don't like losing the Traction Demon, but I do have the Weld here, which gets me something back at least. So I'm gonna, you know, go for it. If they have just a pump spell, I will win. I mean, if it's another Gaia's Gift, they can't prevent. They need something else to actually kill one of my attackers here. So let's see what it is. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, just, I guess it was just a pump spell there after all. It could have been that deal 3 damage to a tapped creature and gain 2 life. That would have been the worst, because if they made these blocks kill my Therax Demon, they actually will be at 3 life and I lose one of my creatures. Yeah, well, it wasn't it, so I won the game. Alright. Green-white with double Dissident. Well, could be more, of course, but I saw 2 of them. Couple of epic confrontations, which actually makes me want to play the intervention. This is a decent response to that. Not only I can get my creature back, or it will go to my hand, so it's not really mana efficient, but the +2/+0 might mean that I actually am able to kill their creature in the fighting process there. So I'm gonna sideboard that in when I saw 2 epic confrontations. How about the Unleash Shell? Oh, there's the Power Plant Worker. There's Autonomous Assembler, which I also can kill right after they, you know, play it. They will start putting counters with it though. Well, I have to cut already 1 creature. I don't want to cut the Vermin because it's quite good way to deal with the dissidents, and I have, you know, a few ways to sacrifice 1. So it's gonna maybe be the Rock Hunter that I'm gonna cut now, and then should I replace something like the Acrobat with the Unleash Shell? I think I might do that. I don't think the Acrobat is that important here. Now, what did I put in the deck? Because I don't... Oh, it was the Rivalry, not that. Here, Unleash Shell. Now, 16 lands with this build might be a little low, but I have 1 6-drop, 3 5-drops with only 16 lands. I will be on the draw. I think I'll still do it, but maybe I can tweak it a little bit. In game 3 I also was running out of time in that sideboarding. But let's learn more about their deck. Or let's just win this game so I don't have to worry about game 3. Okay, this is fine. I have at least I can deal with the dissidents. And, you know, if I don't have to deal with them, I can just play the Therax Demon here. Okay, that's fine. Land isn't the worst because I do have a 5-drop here and now I have the 5 lands for it. Of course, any further lands I draw will be slightly bad. Okay, they can equip this with 1. They choose not to equip it. Well, you know what? If they have a way to save this thing, I can respond to it with the Disfigure. So let's see if they are gonna block. Nope. Then I will Disfigure. I mean, maybe I... No, they can have a Gaia's Gift and something else, so I'm just gonna kill this right away. They have a Loran's Escape. Yeah, well, you know what? Let's respond. Alright, that was a 2 for 2 and I got rid of this annoying card. So if I let them untap, they might actually have also the Gaia's Gift, and with the Gaia's Gift and the Lorenz Escape, my plan goes worse. I actually draw the nuts here because it's a good 4-drop to draw at this stage in the game. And I had no other play for this turn. Alright, I get the Cinnamon back. There's also the Warplow, which I'm quite likely to be able to cast. Alright. But if I don't draw the 6th land, it's a bit risky. You know, I'm actually taking the Cinnamon. It's close, and this is, you know, cheap. I can maybe double spell or some turn with the Fracture and the Cinnamon. The Warplow is gonna be quite expensive. Okay, they gain, what? Gain 3 life and get these Power Stones. Right. I don't know if that is really scary to me. By the way, the Infantry was a decent draw because this is somewhat of an okay sacrifice for the Fracture. So let's say they play one big creature, I can just kill it. If they don't have like a Gaia's Gift there. Okay, they don't because they used one of their 2 mana on this equip here. Alright, so... I mean, the Ornithopter isn't even that great of a card. An 0-2. Yeah, let's just do this. Kill this guy, sack this guy, and I get the 1-1, which I can, you know, sack for the Thrax Demon if nothing else. And now they have to take about 9 damage. Unless they jump block, which I wouldn't mind. Also, the Sigil of Valor says that each other creature, so it can't even attack for 1. Well, now it can, but you know, it's not such a great equipment if you don't have a white board. Alright, Weld means I'm probably getting... Yeah, they don't even want to continue the game. That was a lot easier than the game 1. I had stuff to return, yeah, the Goring Warplow, and you know, some of these might die. Hey, I have 9 swamps and 7 mountains in the deck. Just so that I don't have to have this kind of starting hands. I also had one other starting hand that had 3 mountains, no swamps. Now I have a 2-drop, but if I don't draw specifically a swamp, one of my 9 swamps, and because the amount of red cards in the deck is quite low, and I don't even have that many artifacts. Yeah, I like this less than the 3 mountain hand, which I kept, and I drew the swamp and, you know, won that game. But this is, I think, rather risky now. I'm gonna mulligan this. It's 6 cards. I can keep 6. Okay, this is better hand. I mean, not ideal. I don't have a creature to play, but at least I can cast my spells now, and I can easily get rid of. Okay, opponent did mulligan as well. I can get rid of one of my swamps here. So let's see if they go to 5 or keep 6. Okay, they kept 6. So as long as I draw some creatures here, I'm good to go. Blast Runner. I'm gonna disfigure it right away. It's gonna be the card I wanna... I mean, they might have a 2-drop. I maybe want to disfigure, but the thing is, I might have drawn a 2-drop here myself, and then I wouldn't have been able to, you know, deal with that thing. Okay, now I drew 2 lands to this hand. One of my lands is on the bottom of my deck, so 16 land deck. 1 is on the bottom of the deck, 6 in hand and battlefield. That's 7. So in my 31 cards I have 9 lands and 22 spells. So I should draw some spells very soon. Okay, well, the opponent goes off with... Wow, triple land. Alright, so I mulliganed to 6, kept the 5-lander, put 1 land away. My first 3 draw steps are lands. And the opponent goes 1-drop, 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop. Yeah, not great. And they actually missed the land drop, which means they have at least 3 spells in their hand, if not 4. Okay, that's gonna get them a non-land. Maybe. Oh, they have a Wimcom engine in the deck. I have two overwhelming remorses that they are very good answers on that thing. But yeah, I don't like my chances in this particular game. Well, that's a Thrax demon. Sure. Okay. I go to what? 3, 4. Well, I guess that's technically not over yet. If they have 2 lands in their hand, they don't have a lethal attack. But I don't think they have 2 lands because they missed some land drops earlier, so I think this is the death of me. But of course this was just a non-game I had. You know, mulligan. Well, we both mulligan to 6, but my... Okay, they actually did not attack. Now this is forced to attack, that's not ideal. But yeah, we both mulligan to 6, but of course my flooding out versus their, you know, being able to actually play some spells. There's a big difference there. Now let's just attack. You know, they're never gonna block this, of course. And then if I weld something back, well, I have nothing to weld back. What? I can kill one of their guys and still take 4. Alright. Well, that was a non-game. Opponent has a Wimble engine in the deck. I saw that when they milled it. So, yeah, well, I need to save these remorses if I can. They have a double Blast Runner, but I have a double Disfigure. I don't think I want to lose any. Maybe the Acrobat won't be that good. I might actually cut it and play something else instead. Maybe like the Forge Chandler. They have the Strong Balls. There's nothing I can do about them really. 8 non-creatures means I won't be able to trigger the prowess that often. By the way, I haven't drawn the Steel Seraph in any of my games in this event. Now, I did win the first 2 matches, so I didn't need it. But maybe I need this thing in this match now. It also means I need to actually get to 6 mana before I lose. Alright, I'm gonna play the Forge Sander because it's actually quite good when I have to double block their Blast Runners, so let's do it. This is the deck. And let's maybe not have such a bad draw as I have it in the first game. I'm gonna keep it, but it's not ideal about 4-drop as the first thing, but it will draw me a card, and then I can follow up with the Juggernaut, so not the worst thing, but of course I don't want to see it. Or 1-drop, although this 1-drop it just, you know, deals 1 damage, so maybe it's not so bad. They go 1-2 here. Okay, they go 1-2, and I don't. Well, I mean, I think this was a keep. It's very hard to mulligan that kind of hand on the play, I mean, because of the Rager is my turn for play. Okay. Hey, that's very bad timing for the Disfigure. I would have really wanted to have it on the end of their turn to kill the Blast Runner, because they can just draw a card and I can take a lot of damage there, but I mean, I'm still playing the Rager. I'm not gonna play 1 mana spell when I can play a 4 mana spell. But yeah, that was very... I mean, I'm happy to have the Disfigure, but I really would have preferred to have it 1 turn earlier. Because now I'm gonna take 3 here. Which I wouldn't have taken otherwise. Alright. So... I think I'll just play the Giga Mole here. Oh, I could... No, I wanna leave mana up for the Disfigure here. So I'm gonna play the Giga Mole. A Vermin. I actually prefer to have a 3-4 instead. How many... what? How many colors do they have? The heck is that? Wow. Okay. I'm gonna attack for 3 now. A bit risky maybe, but because I can play the Juggernaut and leave mana up for the Disfigurer. And I still have the Scrapwork Rager here too. I'm not that sad about it. They don't have any artifacts to sack for this thing. But didn't... No, I thought they had black in the previous game. I mean, is this a 4-color deck or did they sideboard in a weird way here? Well, I guess I'll see at some point here. No, they actually just have 4 colors. Wow. Well, they have some fixing at least. Okay, am I gonna use my Disfigure right now? No, I don't think. Come on. They seem to have a Disfigure of their own because they do have a priority on my declare attackers. And there's one. Well, I guess they could have Ashnot's intervention too. No, sorry, I was wrong. They have the Strong Bull ability up here with the Refractor. So that's it. Okay, I mean this double block makes no sense unless they are gonna have actually the Ashnot's intervention here. So if they have the Ashnot's intervention, they're gonna target the Chandra here. And it's gonna deal 4. So which do I want to kill? I'm gonna do it like this. Now I don't care about the intervention. Ah, sorry, I forgot about that, but this is so bad, so much better. They can do that, but I mean, I can just kill this thing and eat the Forge Chandler. I really didn't consider they're gonna do that, but yeah, that's a legit play for them, of course. So, Cinnamon and Traxodemon. The world can get... Well, it could still get the Vermin back, which I can sacrifice with Traxodemon, so let's see if that's gonna be a relevant thing. Okay, they didn't have... They saw something... Now, they saw my top of card of my deck. Now, I don't see it. There's no way to draw it. Of course, my board state already is quite good, but it could have been the Steel Seraph. And if they see that without a way to deal with it, of course they lose. But anyway, it goes to game 3. Now the opponent is playing 4 colors. Now most of the cards are red, so they are base red 4-color deck. So maybe they're just splashing for some very good cards. But how does this affect my sideboarding? There's like a Unleash Shell, but I didn't really see a target for the Unleash Shell. No. And then what else? Intervention, but I didn't see that much removal. I don't actually recall what they played in the first game. But the +2/+0 trick isn't such an amazing thing, unless there's some card I really don't want to run at all. Is the Rock Hunter good? It is. No, actually, against the Combat Courier, it's not that good. Maybe... Okay, I'm actually going to cut the Rock Hunter and play the Ashnot's Intervention. A little bit of tricky play. I still have 15 creatures. It's a good amount of creatures. Yeah, that's fine. Let's do that. So the final game of the event, the entire video, unless this somehow ends in a tie, but I don't think that's happening often. Okay, this is a 1-2 curve, and I have both colors and 3 lands. This is actually a very good curve. They mulligan, but hey, they do have 4 different kind of basic lands in their deck. It's not such an unlikely thing that they have a bad mana. So they are mulligan to 6 now. They might keep the 6. But I can go with 1 and 2 drops with the trick available. If I draw a land, I can play the Gigamole on turn 4. Okay, they kept 6. And they have 1 drop, but so do I. I will, of course, again mill myself. Let's see. Now I haven't. Oh, well, I guess the Gigamole is something I can return if I draw one of my 3 emergency worlds. But okay, refractor. Yeah, I lost one of my answers to a, wormhole engine. I don't like that. There's no way for me to get this thing back. Because wormhole engine is the kind of card it just gives you so much value in terms of permanence and life gain that it's very hard to beat it with a normal limited deck. Okay, I'm gonna just attack here. They might just block and draw. It's a possibility. I sadly don't have a play. I mean, unless I'm gonna go with the Warblow as a Death Toucher. I suppose I can because of the Ashnod's intervention, because it returns to my hand. Yeah, okay, let's do that. It returns to my hand, so I can then play it with the 6-mana version. Now they might think I have a disfigure up when I actually have an intervention up, which they haven't seen, of course. Okay, they got all the colors. Not ideal actually, although let's see. I want to play the Gigamole this turn. I don't want to trade this thing with this, but I can trade with the Vermin, I guess. This is fine. Let's do it. They take 1, I will play my Gigamole. And I mill 3 cards, land, and the Rager, which I could return to my hand. I think I will return in this case. I want to draw more cards, and this being a 3-4 or a 2-3, I don't see currently there's no reason to prefer the 3-4 version, at least not over an actual card in my hand. I can also get this thing back with the intervention. But now the important thing here is that can I draw another Overwhelming Remorse, because they might drop a Wormhole engine on the next turn. So let's see. I'm gonna play the land here, then just attack. Maybe it is time to trade the Warblow with the Rager. Okay, I'm gonna do this kind of an attack and see what they block with. I have several different tricks here, mostly sacrificing the Vermin and also using the Ashnod's intervention here. So let's see what happens. They don't have mana up to use the Strong Bull to sack the Refractor. Okay, they just... I mean, that is fine, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, do I want to have this back in my hand? Because I could do it with the intervention, but maybe I don't. I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna kill the Strong Bull, so that I sacrifice the Vermin post-combat. Right, and then I can still play the Forge Chanter. Maybe not ideal, but... Well, maybe the fourth standard doesn't do much. I could also just play the intervention here. I still kill both of these. Okay, fine, let's actually do that. So that's gonna... I mean, I still have to sacrifice the vermin, but it's fine. I'll get my Gigamole back to my hand. And I'm gonna sack this guy to finish off the Rager. And now the moment of truth is that do they have a Wormcoil engine here? A land Wormcoil engine rather. I actually do have this players can't gain life, so the lifelink will be negated. It's still not gonna be easy to deal with it. Okay, please just mill the Wormcoil engine. They didn't mill it, they are closer to it. They had a land. Okay, they just draw a card. Right, that's fine. I take what, 2 here, and then I can weld a bunch of stuff back. I have 6 mana now. I think I don't mind trading with the Archaeologist. I can play the Gigamole and the Forge Chandler, or just this Rager and Forge Chandler. No, Gigamole can mill my good stuff, and which I can return with the weld. So let's attack with both, because I won't have mana to use them. Okay, they actually don't even want to trade with the Death Toucher. No, they do. Or not. Okay, they don't. Okay, fine. That's totally acceptable. I will play now the Gigamole here. See what I mill. I did. Oh, come on! What was that mill? I didn't even mill a creature. I milled one of my emergency welds, and of course the final answer to a Wormcoil engine. So I suppose I'm gonna lose the Wormcoil engine if they draw it. It's so hard to deal with it using just creatures. Okay, well, they don't have it yet. I also don't know what the green is for in their deck. Man, I wanted to have this as a, backup against the engine. It's now impossible. I do have the Power Stone Fracture in my deck, but it's, gonna be able to trigger the engines. The Death Trigger. Exile that. Fine. Oh man, it's so annoying to mill this remorse. Alright, I'll take 3. They have this 1/1. Yeah, this Iconoclast, of course, super good card as well. And my Woblo isn't doing much here now. I guess I'll just play the Rager and the Cinnamon now. But how can I push damage here? I guess my 4/3 can... No, it's not that good. I need my Seraph. The rare. I haven't seen it in any games. I need it now. And I also need them to have a Wormcoil engine in the bottom 3 cards of their deck or something. So this deck has like a red spells, some black spells. I guess the black is just a splash. It's like a blue. They have 2 drops from blue. Maybe it's blue, red, splash, and black. And then something for green. Yeah, I don't know. But they're getting closer to Wormcoil engine. Static net. Dealing with what? Cinnamon, I guess. Could be Thraxodemon, it allows me to draw cards. But it's gonna be the Cinnamon. Okay, so they also have a white card in their deck. They have 5 colors now. The only way to get the white mana now was the Refractor here. And I keep drawing lands. So, okay. I guess I should check what I have in my graveyard. There's nothing worth returning, right? There's a Gigamole though. But if I return that, then I don't have the... If it mills the... No, if it mills the Seraph, then I can just, keep it in my hand. Fine. I try to get the Gigamole. About the Seraph. I think I need to find my Seraph before they get their Wormcoil engine. There's not really an easy way for me to. And there was the. So I just mill my 2 welds here. That's very bad luck here now. I'm gonna take the Stone Seeker because I can sack the Power Stone token to draw a card, and then the sack the drawback doesn't matter. But there's no grand attack for me. It's all about me finding my rare and them not drawing an answer for it, or the Wormcoil engine. Okay, yeah, the Iconoclast is just doing all the work here. Yeah. Okay, that's a land. So let's sack this thing. Come on, Seraph. Well, that can do something, but I don't think. Yeah, sadly they do have this 1/4 and the Iconoclast. I mean, my attacks don't do much here. I think I just have to wait, use this on the Wormcoil engine. I will deck out first, but I mean I have one of the 10 cards in here is the Seraph, so as long as they don't have an answer for it, the Seraph will have a good chance of allowing me to win the game. Well, I mean I guess I'll just sack the 1/1 here. I don't want to mill myself anymore, so I'm gonna mill them. Maybe it is gonna be the Wormcoil engine. Who knows? It was Blastrunner. Yeah, it's actually a weird deck to have a Blastrunner because it's like a 4-color deck. But maybe they have ways to sacrifice it. I will get rid of the Iconoclast, but I mean they have already gotten 1 million tokens out of it, but I guess I have blockers on it. But I get rid of the Iconoclast by sacrificing the Vermin here. But I need the Seraph. I mean I'm gonna deck out here. I need the Seraph before. I mean, and it's not enough if it's my last card in the deck. Look at this. It's in my bottom 6 cards, and even then they might have an answer for it. But I need a couple of turns to win with it. So this is really nasty. Yeah, I don't think I even have to worry about the Wormcoil engine that much. I can kill the 6/6 lifelinker, and then I can deal with the 3/3 lifelinker and the 3/3 death touch. Hopefully. Ah, they have an amalgam too, but I guess no. I have to use the no. I have the death toucher for it. Okay, fine. It doesn't have trample. They can have a 15/15 creature with haste, but I can block it with 1/1 death toucher. So okay, Juggernaut. Well, it doesn't exactly nothing here. I suppose it. Well, I mean, can use the fracture. I don't really want to sacrifice anything now. Yeah, the Seraph is. Maybe I can draw the Seraph so that I can make the Juggernaut fly. Yeah, okay, fine. Let's play the land. I don't have any mats in the deck, so I can play all the lands. And I don't have to use the Thrax Demon right now. I can use it at the end of that turn, sacrificing something like a, I don't know, the Rager maybe. Strongbull, is that gonna beat me? They have 1, 2. Yeah, it's gonna. Oh, damn it. What a joke of a match. I mean, a game rather, because I mean, they can just, you know, maybe I don't die exactly right now, but I'm down to 5 cards. I need to beat them somehow. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. This much, yeah. This here, I don't know. I was just a little bit tired in it too, but a strong bull is just gonna be able to deal me so much damage to me. It wasn't probably enough for them to beat me, but they also had some spells in hand. Well, some cards, they could have been, I guess, lands, but I don't know. It was just me had not drawing that setup, which was like the only way I can actually use to push through the damage. And if it's like I had only 5 cards left in the deck, and they were at such a high life total that it wasn't even going to be a victory unless maybe my exact next card was it. But anyway, maybe the congestion. I could have just continued there, but I felt like when they have the strong bull, they just had too much attackers to beat me with it, because they had more creatures because of all the tokens they had. And then if I take any extra damage, because they had like 10 artifacts or so, I was at 3 when they sacrifice everything with the strong bull. Yeah, well, anyway, that was it. Really didn't like the last game at all in that match, so it was somehow weird stuff. I mean, I just now the self mill, of course, I just had bad luck with it. Of course, this doesn't affect your actual chance to draw cards, because normally, I mean, you can actually mill towards the cards you want to draw. But I milled, for example, both of the overwhelming remorses. Not that it mattered too much, because they didn't draw the Wormcoil engine there. But still, I milled of 2 of my 3 emergency welds, which basically was the thing the deck was based upon. I mean, the only thing the deck actually had going on for it was the emergency weld self-milled theme, which was a minor theme, but still the only kind of theme in the deck, apart from just having like removal and creatures. But I suppose this deck wasn't that good. But a shame I never even saw the Steel Seraph. So there were 2 a little bit easy matches maybe, and then the third one was not so easy, but I think it was winnable with a bit better draws. But of course, the opponent can say the same, that if they can win the matches if they get good draws. So I guess it's fair. One player will win and the other will lose. That's how it goes. Still 2 wins, not a bad result, and that was it for this draft. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.